I'm about to share with you the craziest thing that ever happened to me. And it happened when I was just 16 years old. But before I do, if you like this message, please consider dropping a like on the video. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. Likes really help push the video to other people. So if this message inspires you, or if you enjoy listening to this story, please consider hitting that like button, drop me a follow. Thank you. The story starts when I'm studying for my GCSEs. Like every GCSE student, I hated it. I'd come home from school and the last thing I want to do, learning for exam. So I decided to ask my dad to go up into the attic and get out the very first guitar that I ever had. I have it right here. Okay, that was harder to get out than I thought it was going to be, but here it is. But it wasn't for a decade until I decided that I actually wanted to learn it. So that 6-week break during summertime, it's this free period before going to university. And the reason I wanted to learn guitar, sole purpose was to be in a band. I messaged the only musicians I knew. I think my school had three musicians. I went to a really awful school. They had one piano in the entire school. And together, we wrote this song. I only knew 2 chords on the guitar at this point. So those 2 chords were the chords to the song. I posted them on Twitter, now X, and I had a few replies saying this is something like I've never heard before. And I thought, well, that's interesting because I don't really know what I'm doing yet. Maybe that's my advantage. So I remember dropping in DMs of really famous people, quite embarrassingly, and asking them, would they please listen to my song? Eventually, I ended up also messaging record labels. One record label got back to me and said that this is fresh, interesting, and something we believe in. Can we have a call? And I remember thinking that this is probably the most important call I will ever have in my life. It was a Scottish label. I won't go into the details, but it was an independent Scottish label. And they actually decided to sign the band. I thought, I need to learn more chords, and fast, because at this point, I was signed to a record label. I only knew 2 chords on the guitar and I had 1 song. So that summer, I spent writing music with the band, but also trying to figure out how to fake it as a musician, because I didn't know what I was doing. And I remember sending voice recordings of these 4 songs that I wrote off the record label, and they got back to me and said they loved it. So they funded us to go into a recording studio, a real recording studio, and record these tracks. And everything just started moving so fast. I was still DMing celebrities at the point. And a celebrity did get back to me, and they also said, I love this song. I love the sound. I think it's really cool. It's really fresh. Can we work together? And this is an artist I grew up listening to. I'd probably been playing guitar for about 6 months at this point. We planned to do a recording session that year. So we doubled down. We spent the next few months just writing music, recording music, and gigging. Long story short here, we eventually ended up touring the UK twice, having hundreds of thousands of streams, signing that record deal before it all fell apart 2-3 years ago. As the world went into shutdown, the bars closed, the dance floors fell silent, the new era of music, this was just emerging. And I didn't know about this. My world was touring, was gigging. I was never really speaking to a camera. So I found it really hard to adjust. And we went through all this crazy journey. I mean, the stories that I have from those 2 tours, from the 10 years of gigging,